Fantasy and illusion will be exposed this month. Fantasy and illusion will be exposed this month. Now, I find that interesting because we've been seeing a lot of illusions broken down and imploded over recent months and years, but the fact that it has a spotlight this month is interesting to me. So the message is, grounded awareness will be your ally this month. This is not a month for fantasy or illusion in your own self. So you may see and feel some home truths, and it will also be more revealed in others. So grounded awareness is when you are able to stay grounded and present to what's actually happening, rather than living in a fantasy or an illusion of what you would like it to be or what you're telling everyone it is when it really isn't that. It's not a month for fantasy or illusion in your own self either. Radical honesty with yourself, with your own habits, your own patterns, your own behaviors. I think as we keep ascending in consciousness, all of us are being asked to drop parts of us from the past that maybe were more resonant in years past, but are no longer serving who you are becoming and where you are going. So a part of this for you might be hopefully some loving and gentle home truths, seeing parts of yourself that you're ready to let go of, willing to let go of. Maybe it's behaviors, maybe it's habits, maybe it's protective or defensive mechanisms that you've carried for years that you no longer need to pretend are real to other people or show. So fantasy and illusion will be exposed this month, which means anything that feels very authentic, very grounded, very real will be attractive to you in May. And anything that seems fake, artificial, or like it's hiding, that won't be so interesting to you. Although have compassion, because usually anyone who is trading on fantasy or illusion is usually disconnected from some true part of themselves. So unless someone's being abusive or dominating with their fantasy and illusion, you can just have compassion for people who you see are perhaps struggling with that, and have compassion for yourself when stuff comes up for you, because that's what we all have to do. We all have to be as kind to ourselves as we can, because we've all come through this conditioning, this societal conditioning. We didn't create it, but we imbibed it and we became it. And what we learn as we grow and we go is we let go of the parts that feel more toxic to us, or more old, or more outdated and outmoded. Okay, let's move to the outer world themes. So this message came in quite strongly, so I'm curious to see how it plays out. But the message was wild events propelling chaos that leads to shifts. Wild events propelling chaos that leads to shifts. Now, the message here was May is likely to see some wild moves on the world stage. As and when these happen, breathe and take care of your own reactivity and be mindful of reactions from others. Energetic interventions will and are coming. Energetic interventions are coming. I'll edit the will out. That does not mean we should sit on our hands and just wait necessarily, but remember the times we are in can mean nothing is as it initially seems when it first rears its head. So your first reaction will also change as the situation does. So firstly, I'm actually recording this on April 25th, so who knows, it may even begin before May by the time this gets released. But I've given this message a couple of times over the last 6, 7, 8 months. I've been given this message from my guides that I've been asked to give, which is things are going to happen on Earth, and at first certain things might look truly terrible. And it's not to say that there aren't some terrible things happening that are terrible, but there are other things that they are saying it will look a certain way for a brief period of time, and then it will change. But while it looks very doom and gloom or particularly alarming, our reactions are going to be a huge part of what happens next. So in terms of your internal reaction, as much as you can, feel what you need to feel always, but try and recognize that we are in the middle of these waves and these energetic earthquakes, and the way that they are often reported to us are very low vibration, fear-based, fitting in with a control agenda. So you just have to be very mindful as you watch things play out in the world. So wild events propelling chaos that leads to shifts. There are a lot of games being played worldwide right now that we're either witnessing or right in the middle of. And when it comes to darker agendas around humanity and people's well-being, it's not that we should sit on our hands, but we do have to also be very mindful about how and when we make our moves. So bear that in mind, and let's hope that the timeline changes and that there aren't some big wild events that do that. But that was the message that came in. So I'm going back to a message I've given many times, which is things that may look terrible at first, and that can also be in your personal life. It's not just outer world stuff. Breathe through it. Take a breath. Take a moment. Try and give yourself some grace to feel what you need to feel, but don't act on your first reaction if you can. And this is us developing more space inside ourselves with everything that's going on, which I know is not easy, but if there's ever been a time to develop your nervous system and your ability to hold yourself and hold space and stay connected to good people who are your community, who can help you do that, this is the time. We are living at a time where more people than ever before are feeling their own sensitivity in response to the outside world. I've been reporting on world energetics every month for 14 years now with my energy updates on YouTube. And so I've long identified as a sensitive, but I'm finding more people in the world are tapping into their sensitivity more than ever before.
As more of us open to our sensitivity, we need new ways to understand and support it. The Empowered Sensitive is a live online course designed to help you understand your sensitivity and navigate it with more clarity and confidence. Join Lee Harris for the Empowered Sensitive live online May 16th, 17th, and 20th.